guys, Calker's back with another video today. Just finished up at Tennessee. Fun day. I ended up going X3. I think I got second 30, not 30 second, 60 second or something. Barely made top 64, but it's like extra prizing. So that was the only, if I didn't make top 64, I wouldn't have made a video. But thankfully we did. Go over kind of the games, matchups and everything, but I did get to play Cumber, which this is actually the first video I think I've actually made of Cumber since its release. I didn't like to post a list because I've been really testing it and I haven't played in any events yet since we're going to in-person one. They'll just in this and a few other decks, but we ended up playing Cumber. So I figured I'd give you guys kind of a breakdown of it because it's probably the last time I play it for foreseeable future because I don't have any big events coming up. Probably want to play like some other the other black decks like Magic Cumber and things like that. So we'll start here with the leader in the field and kind of give you guys a breakdown of everything, just for in case people wanted to play the deck. So the deck, you start with the Prison Planet card here. Prison Planet's very, very good card. It's needed for the deck to function. So Prison Planet is a field spell barrier, which basically allows all of your food cards with Overlord to servant away cards in your opponent's battle area. Now, that's a big reason as to why people play this deck, is because the draw power in this deck is crazy. I think most of the time my hands were like 14, 15 cards in hand. For a black deck, that's pretty difficult to deal with. This deck has a lot of resource management. So leader on this side just attacks and draws, and you awaken when you have your Fuzi battle card in play, which is, we'll go with this deck first, which is this guy. You awaken and you go down to 6 life, and you restand one, draw one. On this side, actually, you give any of the cards that you own in your opponent's battle area servant. So these are very specific cards. There's only 3 of them in the deck, and they get servant. And then that's kind of the basic of it. Like, this deck is very, very generic with this. It's essentially that this effect just allows you to draw. So on your turn, like, I don't know, turn 2. You should probably have like at least between 8 and 10 cards in hand, depending on how much damage you've taken and depending on what you're able to Overlord. It sets up the deck very nicely, and you have tons of free defense, which is what makes this deck really good. So going back down now to the Fu. So Fu is deflect barrier, has Overlord if this is your leader, and then this is one of the cards you can use to Overlord. Now this is limit 1, so you can't have 2 of these on board and use the limit 1s on each one of them. That would have been too good. So they just forced it into this guy. You do Z-Stack, and you Z-Stack this guy underneath it. So for 1 black, you can play up to one of these cards. This will create a counter window. So if your opponent wants to counterplay this card, you have to do it when you tap the black energy. So it does kind of suck if you tap the black energy and they like T-blow or something. But then you just don't play this card. When this card does come down, this card actually got way better now that red's not a big thing. It gives a card on play and on attack a servant. It's 4 less. So the majority of the meta is yellow in the new Gohan deck, and those all have 4 less battle cards. So this card can essentially get rid of 2 things. 1, you play it, you give the card servant, you bottom deck it with this. On attack, you give another card servant. If it's in rest mode, it can't restand, so basically kind of time locks them a little bit. So I never played a second one. I did play Fu a few different times. People really try to focus on getting rid of this card, but we have a card in the deck that basically substitutes for this. So if people remove this, like spend a lot of resources on it, this is just 1 energy to get back. We can play a better card. What's the Z deck? Tubu. This card did probably win me 1 or 2 of my games. Just on the back of this card being a 1-drop that can remove something for essentially 2 Z energy, 1 from playing it, 1 from the activate main. Removes any battle card on board, absorbs it, and then becomes a 25k, and it has blocker. But this card can also pressure. So being able to swing with this for 25k for 1 energy is really powerful. Also, that removes something too. So token negates, ultimates, Z battle cards, where this deck does struggle with getting rid of Z battle cards. This is your card. And then we have the Z leader. Kind of neat to play this. If you don't play the Z leader in your game, it becomes more difficult to win. So this card is 20k. When you swing, you draw a card and you give a card servant, any card, and then activate battle. Either turn, you can combo up to 2 servant cards on your opponent's board and combo with them. I think they have to be on your opponent's side. Yeah, they have to be on your opponent's side. So I'm sorry, they just have to be your opponent's card. So if you play in a mirror and they give you their cards and they have serve, you can still combo with them. But this card basically allows you to become a 30k leader on defense or on attack, if not more, depending on if those cards have 10k combos. And you don't have to pay the Z cost. I mean, you don't need to pay the Z energy or the energy to combo with 10ks. You can combo with with ultimates. They just get removed from the game. But very, very, very powerful. This makes you basically like a brick wall. It's very difficult to swing out a 20k leader, especially people forgot. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna swing 15k. I'm like, great. They're like, all right, 15k. I'm like, okay. Oh, your leader's 20. Yeah, that's kind of the point of why the guy's a 20k. So, all right, so that's the Z deck. Going to the main deck. We ran 50, I think, with the field spell. I think we're at 51. I might be mistaken. It might be 52. We kept it pretty light. Try to add as much tech as possible because this deck, you can literally search out almost any card that you would want to play. So 1-drops, we run 3 Evil Saiyan, 2 Son Goku, 2 True Fighting Spirit, and 2 Gohan. This is the 1-drop lineup. This is essentially what you want to see. These 8 cards you want to see turn 1, so you can play them and then combo them off to be able to play your Fu on curve. You can use it to get out of damage. A lot of people are comboing to 15 anyway, so a lot of time you're going to combo with it to then take the damage anyway, so it kind of feels bad sometimes. But Evil Saiyan searches top 5, any Saiyan or Fu that costs 6 or less, including the Unison, which I do not play the Unison. I don't think the Unison's that good, but I might change my mind. Goku is a cantrip, destroys you a card, and then True Fighting Spirit. It's kind of your blue hate. Blue doesn't have a like a Borgos or a Whis card that can hurt energy. Probably gonna cut it though. I don't think it's that good. I'm gonna find some other things to potentially do. This was kind of sided out, and a lot of blue decks can just get rid of this. So it doesn't feel that good. So this is probably gonna get cut. And then we have 2 Gohan. This is probably my favorite add to the main deck. It's got barrier, draws you a card, and then it sits on board for blue decks. And if they demagic and restand an energy, you snipe an energy and a life, which I actually did today. someone actually demagic and restood an energy. I think he actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think he sparkinged, restood 2 energy, and then I sniped 1 of his energy and his life. I ended up winning the game, but that was, yeah, this card is fantastic. This card might get bumped up to 3. Also because it's barrier, you can play it in matchups that can remove your 1-drop on board, which is kind of one of the problems. You don't get to awaken sometimes early. To be able to place this card on board and your opponent can't interact with it, and then you can combo it away whenever you want to, so you can awaken, is great. And then the last card that is kind of a turn 1 awaken play is the Gohan rare. This might go up to 3. You combo it, pay a black, and then you can Z-charge it and then warp a 4 or less. Sometimes you don't want to use one of these turn 1 because your opponent's going to play a battle card on their turn 1 and swing. So you can actually use this to then warp that card. They lose the advantage, and then you get a Z energy still, so then you can awaken on your next turn. Did this against my Trunks Cheetah player, warped his Kibito Kai. I did it against a few other decks that played 1-drops or 3-drops, and then you would just use this to snipe a card on board. Very good. I probably need to up it to 3. One of my matchups, if I would have solved this card, it probably would have won me the game. So that's all the 1-drops there. Then we have 4 Vegetas, which are super combo. The Evil Saiyan super combo is very cool, but you need the Vegeta targets for your fusion pieces, and I don't have 4 foils. And Tyler, the guy who's doing the camera here, knows I don't really play cards that are not foiled. Just kind of my thing. So I play 4 of those. 3 Berserk, 4 Trunks, and 4 Vegeta. This was the card you play on your side, your opponent's side of the board. So Trunks is a searcher. You play it for free on your opponent's side. Search top 5. You grab a 6-drop or less Saiyan, other than itself, or a Mai, and shuffle. And then your opponent draws 1 and just pitches 1. People were trying to play Deborah against me because technically it works that way. I think I counterplayed their Deborah every time they did it. So it's kind of a bait. It does suck when they just like pitch like Quetzalcoatl off of it. You're like, all right, that fucking sucks. But this is, you need to play this at 4. You need to see it every turn. It's essentially a draw 2, because you're gonna play it. You're gonna search out any of these, like most of these cards are Saiyans, and they're either all 6 or less. So all this stuff is searchable. I probably see 4 super combos every game. There's been very few games where I don't. So then you give the servant, you bottom deck it. Here's your Vegeta. Your Vegeta is crazy. This card is a free negate once per turn. People hate this card. It does go on your opponent's side of the board, and it's a 10k blocker, but it's gonna get overlorded the next turn anyways. Now you see these cards do cost 1 combo cost. The field spell here makes these cards free for us, so we don't have to pay the combo cost. If our opponent's not a black leader, they have to pay the combo cost, which is kind of a problem sometimes for them. So, but we play 4 and 4, and then we play 3 the Berserk guy. You can play it on your turn for 1. It's a 25k double strike because it gains servant and 5k if your leader is black. So you swing into this 25k, use it to remove a battle card or a unison or whatever, and then you can bottom deck it. You can combo it. When this card's comboed, limit 1. You give a card in battle 10k. This card gets played on your opponent's side of the board in active mode. Why this card's really good is that you can combo it. So like, if you swing a leader, you go up to 25k. This card goes on your opponent's side of the board. If they combo this card, the limit 1 resets. So now it's for them. If they combo this card, they do not get to choose. They get to play it on your opponent's side of the board. They have to give a card 10k. So if they don't actually say that giving this card 10k, they basically combo it for free. So that is the ruling. So I'm not trying to like be like a rule shark, but like that's how the card's played. So if you don't actually say that you're giving a card 10k, it's 0 cost, and then you play it on your side, and now you have a 25k double striker. So very crazy card. In black matchups, you side this card out though because you don't want to give them a 25k double strike. That's just not very good. But again, all this stuff is searchable off of either the Trunks or the Evil Saiyan. All the stuff searchable. 3 of the 6 drop. It is good. I don't really know what to say about it. 1 drop, 19k, dual attacker, gives any card servant. I wish I actually would have probably seen it more, so this might go back up to 4. Because there's one game in particular, which I'll talk about at the end, that I did not see this card, and it would have probably won me the game. So, good, needs to be at 4. And this card's also searchable off Trunks because they search 6 costs. Fu. So this is the replacement for your Z battle card. A lot of times people will remove the Z battle card and keep this card on board, or just forget about it. But your opponent has 2 or more energy and 2 or more cards in play. You play this guy for 1. It draws a card and then has overlords. You can draw another card. What's nice about this card is that the overlord is not limit 1. It's once per turn, meaning if you have 2 of these on board, you're drawing 2 cards. This card is your draw engine later on in the game. I sometimes will swing with it. Just to like remove stuff, but generally it's going to stay in active mode for decks that can't remove it. And then this is just going to keep drawing me cards. This card is searchable off of just the Saiyan, the Evil Saiyan. It's not searchable off Trunks. So, and you have to play it forward because sometimes you're going to charge it or Z-charge it, and you need to be able to see 1 like every other turn. So for the extra cards, you have 2 Power Burst, 2 Support the Dark Empire. These are your 1-drop negates. I actually think I forgot to take a card out of my Z deck. I think I did. So I think there's actually like 1 card in here that's in my Z deck. That's fine. and that's in my side deck. Everything else should be fine. Okay. So these are your 1-drop negates, or 1-drop or free negates. Obviously your token negate, Power Burst. This card might give a bump to 3. Sparking 5 is great. You can pull back any of your 1-drops that you guys saw. Just another hard negate. I was gonna play the Goku negate, the 1-drop negate. 1-drop negate was okay. I don't know if I wanted to actually use it because it is a 0 cost card, but it is a card I can get back off of Power Burst, so I can like Power Burst for free, grab Goku back, Goku negate, and then negate 2 things for 1 energy. But it is a 0 cost, so that might not be good. So yeah, that's that. Unexpected turn. This card's great. It hits any card. Your opponent has to have three battle cards in play. 3 battle cards in play that cost 2 or more. and then this card hits any card coming into play that doesn't have deflect. So secret rares, it's crazy. Your opponent plays like a Gohan Beast or an Evil Saiyan or even like a Golden Cooler. You can just unexpected turn the card and it goes away. And then any battle card that is 2 or less ignore on board, ignoring barrier, gets into the warp. Now, I didn't know this. It did not come up. It actually didn't matter for our game, but this warps every battle card on board that's 2 or less, including mine. So this will get rid of my Fu. Kind of sucks, but in certain cases, like your opponent plays Golden Cooler or Beast Gohan, that shit's gonna get removed anyways. This is it's more valuable to remove their secret rare than to worry about your fucking 1-drop, you know? So, but this card you have to write out 2 of. It just is great. Being able to hit half of the good secret rare, actually 80-90% of the secret rares in the game, it's a pretty good card, so you have to write it. Alright, now to some of the 1-ofs. I ran 1 of the Assassins from the Darkness. Played it 1 time. I sided it out a lot. It's 25k, gives any card 5k for the turn on defense. So you can be in your leader, or you can warp a card 6 or less on your opponent's turn. It has deflect. It can't swing until you have 3 or more energy and a Z leader or a Z battle card in play. So early it doesn't do anything. Later on it's probably a defensive tool or warping something away. I'm probably going to make this Brainwash and test it with Brainwash because I didn't play Brainwash today. I don't know if it would have made a difference, but I'd rather spend 1 energy on that card on defense than 1 energy on this card on defense. Also, it is searchable, by the way, too. 1 thwarting. It's thwarting. Searchable. With thwarting. 1 crack in space time. Did win 1 game with it. I used it defensively 1 time, but you do need to play this card because it is pivotal that you have a double striker on your Z leader. You go to 35 plus comboing 2 cards. You go up to what, 45 if they're not 10Ks, and then that's not including you dumping 3 or 4 super combos on top of the swing. You're probably gonna kill somebody with it. So 1 crack in space time. For the big Cumber, you need to play 4 of this. Every turn past turn 4, you're playing this card, and you gives any number of your opponent's battle cards that you want servant. It's crazy. It's basically yellow cards. You play this, your opponent has 6 cards on board in rest mode. You give everything servant, draws you a card, and then you give this card dual attack, double strike, or triple strike. This card's great. I love this card so much. But this card allows you to play defense. So you play this card if you're Z-Woken. You now have your leaders now like 30k on offense if they have 2 battle cards in play. If they have 4, you're a 30k on offense and a 30k on defense because you can just combo them off. And this is a 30k double strike, dual attack, or a 30k triple striker. It's good, so you need to play it. It's not searchable, which kind of sucks, but this is your best turn 2 or turn 4 and on play. 2 secret ID. I would not run the Goku Vegeta combo. I think it's bad in this deck. Paying 1 energy for 2 30k swings sounds really, really good, but when you take into consideration this costs an energy, this costs 2, crack costs 1, thwarting costs 1, like you need to make sure you're pivoting things right. And this card being able to, not only is it searchable, but it allows you to fill your drop or fill your warp for thwarting. It allows you to snipe tokens and get rid of Z battle cards, which is important. So like sometimes you want to get rid of like 2 cards, you want to get rid of a card and a token. You need this card, and it pairs well with the Gogeta. So for 1 energy, you can remove a ton of stuff. So like you play this, put the cards in the warp, tap 1, you play this guy. If you grab a Goku and a Vegeta from the warp, you can put them in the drop, play a guy for 1, warps of 4 or less. Play this because it's good into yellow, it's good into a lot of other matchups that play small stuff, but you also need to be able to use this to remove like Under 21 Z battle card and things of that nature, because your deck doesn't get rid of Z battle cards very well. So this is kind of your Z battle card removal and just board clear. Again, kind of the whole thing with the deck. These are also searchable, so it's crazy that literally 85 to 90% of the cards in your deck that are battle cards are all searchable. It's literally just this guy and the secret rare that's not searchable. Speaking of secret rare, we went with Golden Cooler. So this is kind of a last minute thing. We've been testing with Evil Saiyan, and got my ass beat with this card by Tyler, the guy on the camera, and I started to reconsider it. I'm like, I think I need to play Golden Cooler again. So I wasn't gonna play it, but I am glad I did. I think I kind of misplayed a few times, which we'll talk about in the matchup portion stuff. But this card, actually never won me a game. I think it actually lost me more games. So I kind of need to reconsider if this is going to be the secret for the deck. I might try a different one. We'll see. But being able to rip your opponent down to 5 cards is very valuable. I think realistically, I probably would have won the game. I probably would have won the games that I lost if I just waited an extra turn to play Cooler. Is what it is. Yeah, probably should have just waited a few turns. I got a little antsy because when you have this card in your hand, you're like, oh shit, I just want to slam it down. So I probably could have waited a turn and still won. But yeah, so that's the main deck. Going into the side deck now. One Indomitable Might. It was never played. I brought it in for green and for Golden Cooler or Golden Freeze, which I never saw. So this is what you use to get rid of Divine Transformation, because it can neg it, like Fuse Zamasu, things like that. It does, so it wipes 2 cards, 30k. Your opponent warps a card, and then your leader gets 5k for the turn, or 5k for you and your opponent's turn, and then it's a 30k double strike with Deflect. I thought it was pretty good. I never wanted to pay 3 for it though, so this card's gonna come out. It's very pretty, but it just doesn't fit in this deck. 2 Koitsukai came in almost every game because they played against a shit ton of yellow and blue. It never, I think it won me 1 game, but just the threat of Koitsukai is just good. Also, I used it a lot to fix my hand, honestly. More so just to fix my hand, so I would just bottom deck 2 and draw 2. Black Smoke came in almost every game. This card is a saint. Love this card. 2 BMS. I need to get another foil one because it's just disrespectful to this deck. Very good against a lot of matchups. Trunks Cheetah, very good. Blue Baby, very good. They have to remove this card or else they can't play half the cards underneath their Tuffle. It's good against. It's good in the mirror. It is a way for you to be able to take a life and go down to 5, which is kind of why I added the True Fighting Spirit Vegeta, but I think this is just better. Get it back off Power Burst. It also is a Saiyan, so it's searchable. So this card actually might make its way into the main deck. We'll have to test and find out a little more. 2 Super Kamehameha for green, for yellow, for blue. Generally, a lot of the time, if I was at 4 life and I played a Trunks, my opponent would go to Deborah. I would warp Deborah, take a life, and then go down to 3, and then I can Z-Awaken. So this card did a lot of work. 2 Deborah, never came in, didn't see any green matchups, so just kind of there. What are we at? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Okay, I didn't fuck up then. I thought I fucked up. 2 Petrification again. We need to get rid of that because we gotta get that Zenkai foil. Card Snapped. It's a good card. Stops on play effects. Really good into the Gohan matchup. Honestly, I feel like this deck shits on Gohan. I just never got to play against the Gohan. Well, not shits on Gohan, but I think this deck has a favorable matchup against Gohan every time I played it. It always feels very good. This card, being able to stop the 8-drop from being able to do literally anything, doesn't burn you alive, doesn't kill something, doesn't pop a card in your hand. Very good, just never saw the match. Never really felt good into the matchups that I played. So it did come in, but it didn't do much. And the last 2 cards are very cool tech cards. So one is Evil Overflow. You tap 2, you pitch a card, the battle card being played 4 or less is played on your board instead with Servant for the game. So this was my 21 card. I never played against an actual 21, the normal 21 deck, but this hits full power counter. So they play full power counter, you play this, you steal their full power counter, you pop something on their board, and now you have a 35, I think it's a 25k or 20k, it's one of those 2. But then it becomes a 30 or a 35k double striker with Servant, which means you can swing with it, and then you can bottom deck it with one of your food cards. So it replaces the card that you pitch, and then you get the effect on play. It works for Kusu. There's a few different cards that it works with that just never came in, and because the match they played were just never very good. And then 1 Hunt of the Demon God. This card will forever stay in the main deck, or in the side deck. This is for green. With Gohan going to be a very good deck. I think decks need to, I didn't want to give this away, but so the Gohan negate, people can play it for free. Dormant also for free. If you have 4 more energy, it's all the same color. This is a counter for any extra card counterattack that's being played with 1 cost that is being played for free. So it's a 1 energy counter, and against Gohan, it's really good because they still pitch the cards, but I don't think they ever get the draw effect. So they have to pitch a card for playing it for free, and then pitch a card for the floodgate effect, and then you just counter, and then they lose 3 cards from hand. Don't draw a card, and now you have this card on board. So we're not on board, but you can still use it. Has a Spirit Boost effect, but we don't play a Unison, so it doesn't matter. But this card's really, really good. It wins you games when you're trying to swing with your leader for double strike, and then they go to Gohan negate, and you hit him with this. All right, so matchups. Matchups were round 1 with Vegito Spirit Bomb. Guy was really cool. I think he was a little nervous. It might have been one of his first events, maybe. But he hand dumped 2 different times at weird spots. He hand dumped me with his Spirit Bomb effect from like 3 to 1. And then he hand dumped on a Majin Vegeta, and I just comboed it off with my Z leader. So we won that one. Game 2 was against, I wish I remember his name because he was really cool, but he played Expert 21. I probably should have won that game. I did a very good job of hand controlling him. I think he played Secret Rare turn 4. He was at 8 life after he used his Secret Rare. He had 4 cards in hand, so I hand controlled him very well. I wasn't giving him any options to be able to use his combos. Even if I think he super comboed like 6 times, still had more cards in him in the game most of the time. But then I dropped Cooler on turn 6, and then he killed me on the crackback by like 5k. I probably should have waited a turn to play Golden Cooler and then killed him on the next turn, but it didn't work out that way. Game 3 was... What was game 3? Game 3 was... What was my game 3? I know I lost, I think? No, it was the... Played Vegito. Played Red Vegito. I don't like that deck. That scares the shit out of me. But we did win. I swung like 8 times on turn 4 with 8 drop. I swung with twice. Had my leader swing. We had the 6 drop on board. We swung with that. We had the Gohan rare. We swung with that. And I Thording and Secret ID all in the same turn. It's kind of hard to deal with that when you tap out. So we won that one. Next game was, I want to say
Blue Trunks.
Blue Trunks. That's what it was. Yeah, that's probably the matchup that I want to forget. Guy was really cool. So if you watch this video, I forgot your name, man, but shout out to you. We were talking about it a little bit. So he played the starter deck Trunks. Really cool deck. If you guys watched the tier list, I did say that any Earthling Saiyan deck is going to be really, really good. Yeah, he played all the Oob cards. He played Piccolo. He played the Oob Goku World Tournament cards. So he's tons of dual attackers. And he kind of hand controlled me with the Oob. I never saw my Secret Rare, and I never saw the 6-drop Cumber, which that matchup, you kind of need the 6-drop. Honestly, you need the 6-drop and the Gohan Rare, because everything's 4 or less, realistically. Like the smaller stuff, like Piccolo, Goku Black, you can get rid of that shit. And then the Cumber can keep stuff in rest mode, and then you can swing at other stuff. So I didn't see either one of those, and then he burned me for the last life with Beast Gohan. I actually used my unexpected turn the turn before, and I should have saved it for Beast Gohan. So actually I should have won that game. So more so a mistake on my part, not the actual deck. Next round we played against Blue Baby, round 4. I beat Blue Baby. Shout out to him. It was Tyler. He's actually another guy from the Ohio area. He played Blue Baby. I would say a closer game. Blue Baby is actually not a matchup I'm very worried about, because everything has Servant, and I just get rid of it. So once I get into my Z leader, they play the Golden Baby. They're basically giving me 10k combo on board. So it's not that difficult. I did play Golden Cooler at the end of the game. It actually didn't win me the game. I could have won without Golden Cooler. That's the only game that I resolved it and kind of won. Round 5, we played against, what did I play? I kind of forgot at this point. So we played Vegito Spirit Bomb. We played Android 21. We played, I'm missing like one deck that I can't remember off the top of my head. Vegito. We played Vegito. We played. Oh no, yeah. So we have Vegito. Yeah, it was Vegito Spirit Bomb. It was Android 21 Expert deck. Red Vegito, Blue Baby, Trunks. Okay, we're got it back. Round 6 was Trunks Vegeta. I played that game perfectly. Turn 2, Black Smoke this Trunks. Turn 3, Black Smoke this Trunks. Turn 4, turn 5, I removed his Unison. I removed Sin. I basically hand controlled him into a point where he still had 6 life for most of the game, but he couldn't really do much. I did slam down Cooler, took his whole hand away. He beat me off of a mirror play. I probably could have gotten out of it. But again, I probably should have waited a turn to play Cooler. But in that matchup, honestly, it was very difficult. I think that was one of the only matchups where Evil Saiyan would have felt better. It is what it is. Whatever. Next was, the last matchup was Supreme Kai. Any black deck that Cumber plays against, Cumber just beats. It's not a problem with those other decks. It's just Cumber is just a better resource management deck. And with Kai, I can remove all their stuff. I can keep shit in rest mode. There's not much they can really do defensively. If they tap out, they're dead. And I think I comboed like 60k on my 1-drop 4k Fu, which is pretty cool. So I got to kill him with that. But honestly, a good overall time. I love the deck. The deck's gonna be put away for a little bit so we can play some of the other black decks for a little bit. Because I'm not getting tired of the deck, but because the deck has no more support, there's not really much else I can do to the deck. Kind of want to wait and play some other stuff since we did get support for like God Trunks and Magic Gamora and stuff. So, but that is the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I have a vlog video, maybe. I did some stuff, kind of got a little focus on playing, so I didn't really post too much, but we'll see. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.